cold, hard cash. Whether it jingles in our pockets or folds in our wallets, it flows by the billions from government agencies that have mastered the craft of making it, empowering consumers and confounding counterfeiters. The result of time-honored technology, painstaking artistry, and precision automation. Now, money on Modern Marvels. They say that it can't buy happiness, and that the love of it is the root of all evil. But most of us seem to be obsessed with earning, saving, and spending it. For better or worse, money is the measure of all things in America. And two agencies work around the clock, satisfying our demand for it. The Bureau of Engraving and Printing produces our paper currency. And the United States Mint, the largest mint in the world, manufactures our coins.
We are the largest mint in large measure because we have the world's largest economy. Many mints worldwide have had to slow their production down. In fact, some have had to shut their production down. We, on the other hand, because of the size of our economy, have had very smooth production capacity.
The U.S. Mint runs production facilities in Denver, San Francisco, and West Point. But for more than 2 centuries, the heart of its operation has been in downtown Philadelphia. You can count on this money-making factory to pump out a staggering 11 billion coins each year.
On an average day, we make over 30 million coins. About half of them are pennies, and the rest are split between nickels, dimes, and quarters.
No parts of the Mint's automated production line are more critical than the dies from which the coins are stamped. Creating them is a meticulous and time-consuming challenge. The process begins with drawings crafted by the Mint staff of sculptor engravers.
Today, we do it all on computers, and every image is drawn separately, scanned into the computer. The lettering and all the text is generated separately, and we can move it around, increase the size, reduce the size, change the size of the image if the image is too large. You know, just kind of tweak it to the point where we never could tweak it before.
The approved drawing is the basis for an oversized model, sculpted first in clay, then plaster. Sculpting and enlargement enables the artists to include a greater degree of fine detail.
This is the reverse of the 2006 Nevada State Quarter. I'm putting in the final touches now, and I'm using a tool now to put some straight edges on some of these rays of the sun. They need a little cleanup after the casting. Sometimes there's little pieces that mar the edge. We have a very thin parameter of relief that we can work on in something like this. This is an 8-inch blank, and I think our maximum relief is around 80 thousandths of an inch, and that's the highest point.
A crucial step ahead requires a significantly harder replica of the plaster model. So workers craft a rubber mold that they can then use to make an epoxy copy.
With the brush, we're trying to be sure we don't trap any air bubbles in the detail on the rubber mold, and we'll leave this sit overnight just at air temperature. It'll be hard to the touch in about 6 hours, and it'll take about 18 hours before it's fully cured and we can separate it tomorrow morning.
The resulting epoxy model is hard enough to withstand the rigors of this machine. The Janvier reducing lathes first arrived from France in 1906, and they're still going strong. They transfer the contours of the large models with minute precision to the heads of coin-sized steel cylinders.
What's going on here is this stylus is actually riding on the surface of the hard epoxy model. And as it moves in and out, this arm also moves in and out, causing this cutter to move in and out and actually trace the image into the steel. This machine is completely mechanical in that there's no computer assistance at all. It's all done through electrical relays, leather belts, and screws and cone drives.
Transferring the features of the model to what's called the reduction hub takes as long as 12 hours and requires several repetitions. When the hub is ready, it's used to craft the master die. The master die will be a reverse image of the hub, with recessed rather than raised features. This crucial step allows no margin for error.
Any little water will imprint on this, fingerprints will imprint, lint marks, dust, dirt, all will mess this thing up from the get-go.
In the die press, the reduction hub is positioned on top of a steel cylinder with a cone-shaped head. The two are precisely aligned with a centering ring. A press descends, flattening the cylinder against the hub. The cylinder's coned end prevents the cylinder from absorbing all the tonnage at one instant and allows its metal to flow in and around the hub's relief. There's still some touch-up work to do, and duplicates for use on the production line will have to be made. But what emerges is the stuff that coins are made of.
And the end result is a brand new master die.
The process of creating a master die may be slow and methodical, but the coin production it empowers blurs by at a lightning pace. It begins with prefabricated metal strips coiled into rolls 1,500 feet long. The coils are fed into a machine that punches out round discs called blanks. The blanks for pennies come ready-made from the mint supplier.
After blanking, all the blanks go through a furnace where they're heat treated to soften the metal. We have hard metal to get good sharp blanks, but then we need to soften the metal to be able to strike our coins.
Next, machines wash the blanks to improve the coin's final appearance. And after other machines dry them, they flow into a device called an upsetting mill. The machine raises a rim around the blank's edge that will be higher than the coin's relief, protecting the design. A horizontal wheel with a grooved edge rotates near a curved section of steel with a corresponding groove. The blank spins into the channel, which grows progressively narrower. When the channel becomes narrower than the blank itself, the blank flattens at its edge.
That raised edge or rimming helps preform the blank so that when it goes into the press and it's actually struck into a coin, we get better fill, better appearance of the overall coin.
Finally, conveyors whisk the blanks to the coining presses, and their close encounter with the master working dies. Each press can stamp out 750 coins per minute.
Our coins are struck using two dies that are installed in the stamping presses. One makes the heads or the obverse, one makes the tails or the reverse. One is stationary and that's called the anvil, one moves and that's called the hammer. The blank comes in between, the one die moves and strikes the blank in between that die and the other die, creating the impression of the coin on both sides at the same time.
To ensure that nothing's gone wrong anywhere on the production line, inspectors scrutinize the newly stamped coins.
It would be an impossible task to inspect each and every coin. What our operators do is they sample ones that are collected in a trap or a reservoir just outside the press. When they're satisfied that it meets our quality standards, they release the trap, and those coins that are made in a similar time period then flow on through the process to be counted and bagged.
Each of the bags into which the counted coins fall weighs roughly 2,000 pounds. Ready for shipment to the Federal Reserve. This efficient production process would have no doubt amazed the founding father, largely responsible for the mint's founding. When Thomas Jefferson became America's first Secretary of State in 1789, the new nation's monetary system floundered in chaos. No unified form of currency existed. The individual colonies circulated a wide variety of bills and coins. And that was only part of the problem.
As the country expanded and we had foreign colonialists coming here from France and Britain and Spain and Portugal and Germany, their currency was oftentimes used as a form of commerce.
And it was a mess because every colony had its own exchange rate. So Jefferson really came to understand how over the long term the country just could not conduct its business, and it could not conduct its economy with this kind of a system. He advocated the creation of a decimal coinage system in the United States and the creation of a mint.
America's first Secretary of the Treasury, Alexander Hamilton, shared Jefferson's passion to reform the nation's currency. But the two political rivals, constantly at odds, disagreed about what form that currency should take.
Hamilton believed in banknotes. Jefferson believed in coinage. So it's not surprising in 1792, when the Mint Act was signed, that coins were placed under the Secretary of State, where Thomas Jefferson was secretary. The first mint was established and produced coins and not notes. And that is important in terms of the history of the country. Notes didn't really start to enter circulation until much later.